So if you want a successful e-commerce business, you got to have two things. One, people to sell to, and two, things to sell to people. It's that simple, but it's not that easy. So to help with the things to sell to people, I'm super excited to bring on Kristin Ostrander from Mommy Income, who has been a guest on the podcast before, has been a speaker at many of my summits, and always a fan favorite. So Kristin, thanks for coming back.
Kevin, it's so nice to see you. Thanks for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. So you talk a lot about wholesale bundles, which is a different mindset slash way of looking at things than I think a lot of the uh, gospel canon is of what people talk about in the Amazon world. So before we get into all that, why don't you just quickly introduce yourself and who you are?
Well, I am Kristin Ostrander, founder, owner, and operator of mommyincome.com, host of the Amazon Files podcast. I have been in e-commerce for nearly 20 years, 19.5
Oh, wow.
and counting. And I've tried all of the different ways, all the different methods. And what you're alluding to here is my signature business model, which is wholesale bundles. And after trying and kind of floundering and failing at all the other Amazon roads or e-commerce roads, this is the one that has brought me the most success. And so that's what I love to talk about, mostly because of all of the benefits that it's brought to me and all of my students.
Awesome. Well, what is a wholesale bundle? Let's just start with the definition there,
I'm
just so
so
we
glad
understand
you
it.
asked that.
Right,
The
right.
wholesale bundle, the definition, like the Webster's version. No, a wholesale bundle is products that you purchase from wholesale companies. They're already being produced, put together in such a way that bring value to the customer, and convenience, speed, and variety is the goal. That's what the Amazon customer wants, and putting bundles together is bundling all of them in one pack from different wholesalers. So you're not reinventing the wheel, and you're not going out and private labeling different things, and you're not necessarily having to go race to the bottom with every single wholesale product out there, see who can make the less margins. It's actually grouping products together that customers want, that they can purchase in one transaction to save them time and money and convenience, really, and gives a little bit more profit margin to the seller.
Well, awesome. Okay, so let's compare that with other business models, just so we understand the definition and whatnot. So most people that are listening to this are probably private label sellers, or whether they look at themselves as private label, if they have their own brand or whatever the case is. They have a product, they own the listing, they have the goal of X number of units per day, and have a catalog of products that are selling all these products individually, and it's something that they own. And then there's wholesale, where you're going out to distributors or brands or whatever and hoping to sell their products for them, because not everybody in the world wants to sell on Amazon. And so they're willing to give up some of their margin to have someone else deal with Amazon for them, whether they're sharing the buy box or they have exclusive agreements, or whatever the case is. That's the wholesale model. So you're kind of melding the two.
Yes, it's like a hybrid of wholesale and private label. There is a private label. I called it poor man's private label forever, because
Okay.
we all know that private label can be very expensive. It's got many, many benefits, but it can be very expensive and very time consuming depending on the products. And if you're just kind of a widget seller looking for something to white label or private label for that reason, it's one thing. But, like me, I'm very passionate about products. So when I come up with them, it's not just about making money. It's about solving a problem or meeting a need for someone. And sometimes that means you're selling patio furniture, and sometimes that means you're selling HDMI cords, which are two totally different products, right? But the idea there is they each fill a need and meet a need and solve a problem. And with bundling, with private label, I dipped my toes into bigger products at first, and so it was just timely. It was very expensive and took a lot of time from invention and beginning to end to the table. And so I realized quickly that business model was going to take time, and it was a worthy cause, but I didn't have the resources to invest into that up front, even though I had this great idea and I had all the pieces in place. Couldn't pull the trigger because I didn't have the cash. And so I think, and they said, well, this is going to take 3 months to produce, and then there's the samples being sent out again, there's all the different processes, the inspections, and then shipping it freight and all this stuff all the way overseas. Realized that was also going to take 6 to 12 months, which I also couldn't tie up $20,000 for 6 months at that time in my business. So I thought there's got to be another way to kind of have the same benefits of private label, but not have the biggest risk up front. And that's what I looked at as as bundles, is bundling together a unique set of products that serve a specific need. You know, we're not talking about putting keychains and cereal boxes together here just so,
Right.
you know, that's a lot of people in the beginning, you know, years ago would start bundling, what they would call that a bundle, yet it's really just a way to try to keep someone else off of your listing. And that doesn't help the customer. The customers are there to, they have needs and wants and problems to solve, and your keychain doesn't solve your cereal problem and vice versa. And so looking at the approach of how you serve the customer with the grouping of products that you have, it doesn't take as long to do a bundle than it does to do a full-on private label product, yet they both have the same benefits.
Well, got it. And theoretically, if someone already had a private label product, they could bundle other things that they got from a distributor in Jacksonville, Florida or something, as opposed to importing something else from China.
Exactly. And here, one of my favorite ways to help people with the concept of bundling and also to incorporate their own private label products is simply that we all have like a best-selling product or something, even if it's our own, and think, how can I maximize this product in multiple ways? So for example, if I am selling a phone case, I use this as a terrible example because no one wants to sell phone cases, it's so saturated, whatever, so it's kind of fun. So I've got this pink sparkly phone case, and I could say, oh, my brand new iPhone 14 which I don't have, by the way. I need a new case for it, and all these things just came out. But also I might need a carrying case, I might need a pop socket for the I'm a pop socket person like everyone's rolling their eyes collectively, I bet. But like, no, I love my pop socket and I have one, so if I got a new case, I need that. And so you could either just sell the iPhone case that you created or you bought from a wholesale, or you could say a brand new iPhone 14 accessory bundle, and one of them could be the pop socket that I made off, you know, KDP, the merch, and then it could be a case that I bought from a manufacturer, and then it could be, you know, a charging cord or something else for that. So you're making yourself a bundle of multiple products, which automatically in customers' minds increases the perceived value when they're getting 4 things versus 1 thing, or 3 things versus 1 thing. It's just something in our mind psychologically that we see, wow, I get 4 for 1 over here, or I get 1 for 1 over here. And even if the prices are similar, we still have that perceived value that more is more.
Yeah, exactly. And I believe it was this microphone that I have here in front of me. Like, I remember when I bought it because it could have bought the Blue Yeti microphone at the time and just the microphone, but then there was something else that came with like a headset and a pop filter. I don't use the pop filter or the headset, but I just, at the time I was like, well, that seems like a better value, because I did the math of trying to add it all up. And for the seller, it would probably be better to sell, because the combination of the 3 products together, because one, they're getting a higher ticket for that sale. And then,
your average selling price as a seller goes up immediately, right?
Yeah, exactly. So that is a percentage of, if you're still paying Amazon 15%, you're paying Amazon 15%. But one value you get for yourself as a seller is most likely the combination of in that example, 3 products together is going to be a lower FBA fee than 3 individual FBA fees for 3 other products.
Absolutely, because some of those fees are weight based and some of those fees are size based, and that can make a difference in going up or down. Light and, you know, we have some products that they qualify for the FBA small and light program, you know, so there's a lot of reduced fees because there's a certain small amount. But what we realized in the beginning when we first started looking at things when we first started bundling. And when I say we, my mom is my full-time business partner as well. I don't know if people know that or not. We work together. She started when I was doing arbitrage because she loved the fact that I was shopping for a living. She's like, wait, you shop every day and you're making money. How is this a thing? And so, you know, I kind of brought her on, and she's been, you know, doing some things, and now she shops for our wholesale bundle stuff instead of shopping at stores. But still, we looked at that. We thought, well, how can we make money on this? Like one of our aha moments in coming up with bundling was the fact that way back in the day, I feel like this was so long ago, when Shopkins were so popular, this little small
Mm.
toy with my little 4-year-old who was obsessed with these things, and we couldn't find them in stores, and when we did, they were just flying off the shelves at crazy dollar amounts, like very much of a hype. And so we'd clear shelves, retail arbitrage, and then we're like, hey, this is foolish. Why don't we just like go to the source and see if we can source these wholesale? We had no idea what we were doing. We opened an account with them. They were happy to give us an account, and then we saw the margins, and it was like wah wah wah. Like, oh, this thing that's $6.99 on Amazon is literally $4.75 for us. Like we
Oh,
can't
gotcha.
make.
So by the time you add in the FBA fee, or even if you're doing it FBM, you add in other things, the commission, like you're paying for the honor of,
Yeah. We
selling it.
realized on that transaction we would have lost $1.92 per sale. Yet we were buying
Mm.
them 2 for $5 at like when they were going on sale at the store. Like retail arbitrage. We were thinking, 2 for $6, so we're getting them for $3. That was actually cheaper than buying them wholesale.
Oh,
And
wow.
then the wholesale was like, well, if you spend $10,000 on these, then we'll knock off 50 cents each. And I'm still thinking that still puts me in the negative on Amazon. So I thought,
Right.
how can I sell something that's very popular and will still make some money and still make some money? Like I didn't get this. So I thought, well,
Mhm.
what if we put a bunch of them together, 2 or 3 sets, and maybe a carrying case, because I had these things in my house. They're little tiny little Shopkins. For those of you guys listening that don't know what they are, they're little tiny little toys that get all over the place. Imagine like Legos or whatever. And so I thought, well, what about a carrying case? So our first bundle, so we did a grocery bundle before this, but one of our first bundles was 2 Shopkin sets and a carry case, so that you could put them all in there when you were done. And it flew off the shelf for Q4. We couldn't get our hands on it fast
Oh,
enough.
nice.
And we realized that we solved a problem, not only for ourselves, but also for our customer. And if you can put more money in your pocket as a problem solving for your margins, and you can solve a problem for your customer, like you said, products to sell and people to sell them to. And that was a combination that really helped us get what we needed.
Yeah. So in that case, you're creating something that creates extra value, that it's more than just the individual product by itself. And so it's definitely something that's valuable for people, that they can see that they can get like, oh, these things together, as opposed to just the one thing by itself. And you get to create your own listing. Whereas, with wholesale or retail arbitrage, you're sharing the listing, or with private label, which I'm still very much a private label seller, but I like this idea of being able to create other things you can put together, even if it's your own private label products. Now, one thing I just want to also put out there for folks, they might be thinking like, okay, well, I'm familiar with virtual bundles. Is this like virtual bundles, or is this different?
Oh, it's so completely different on so many levels. First of all, virtual bundles do not offer the customer what the customer really wants. And what the customer really wants is speed and convenience and variety. And virtual bundles, all they do is show you suggestions of what other people are buying and similar products together, and they don't actually package them together and send them to the customer in one box that arrives at the same time. I personally got a virtual bundle once, and I got 3 products on 3 different days at 3 different times in 3 different boxes. Now, the whole point of a wholesale bundle too is to I'm not a huge, not that I'm not a fan, but like I just don't pay a whole lot of attention to, like, I recycle and things like that. But like the packaging I receive from Amazon is very irrelevant to me. I recycle it, I move on with my life. But there are some people that really want to save paper and save trees and save all this packaging, and when you're doing a virtual bundle, that doesn't contribute to that at all. It also doesn't contribute to the convenience of something. If you order 3 things and you order them separately, they're going to come in separate boxes at separate times, even if it's all 2-day free shipping. A virtual bundle does nothing except help Amazon, if I could just say that bluntly. It doesn't really help sellers a whole lot, doesn't put a whole lot of money back into your own pocket. It's still 3 separate transactions with separate fees and separate everything. To where a wholesale bundle is more of like, people want these things together, they're buying them together anyway. I, as the seller, I'm going to do the hard work of putting those things together for you, the customer, already, so that you can just buy one box with one click and move on with your life. We are in a one-click society. Swipe it, buy it now, don't think twice, just like, this is exactly what I need, and move on. We don't want to spend a ton of time looking at all these things separately. Well, I could use this and could use that. It's kind of showing them another way. And I know that, for example, a friend of mine makes candles, and she makes handmade candles, and she can only sell them on Amazon 6 months out of the year. But other times she takes her candles, she can sell individual candles. Then she makes a bundle of candles, and then she also puts her candles in what is like a subscription box, so that there's other items, aka a wholesale bundle, put all together into a box with a theme that's now like, here's the coffee lovers theme box, and she has that with the candle and some coffee beans and things. So for the coffee lovers out there, there is a gift to buy to send to everyone, and that is where my focus is when it comes to wholesale bundling. I love to make like gift sets because they're universal, they're evergreen, and there's so many different occasions by which people give gifts. So I love to explore my creativity in that way. But it really does help you. Even if you make something, you can put that in one bundle, you can put it in 10 bundles and name it all kinds of different things, and aim that same product that you have at multiple customer bases depending on the products you put with it.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you on the gift set. I sell a lot of giftable products, and one thing that I've talked to a lot of people in the private label space, and one shift you have to make is in private label, it's you're going after keywords that are so targeted on the product, whereas oftentimes with giftable products, you have to be less product focused and more, who are they buying it for?
Exactly.
You know, so like, you know, gifts for mom might be an expensive keyword or might be hard to rank for, but you know, gifts for moms who like golf or something like that. Now, there's probably not
Exactly.
tons of volume, but you can create kind of an army of products, bundles, whatever, that serve those people. And you know, maybe you just make small tweaks to each listing and to each
Yes.
offering.
What I love to say about this is some of the secret sauce, and you just kind of opened it up, and I loved, I'm like, I'll pour on some secret sauce, some extra secret sauce there, that you just kind of said, that you being in business a long time and having your own private label products and understanding what that just took place, is exactly the point. We can target keywords and products all day long. We both are sipping on coffee mugs or, you know, something like that on a regular basis, right? But if you put coffee mug into Amazon, good luck on the rabbit trail of finding every coffee mug from here to Texas. You know, there's just so many. But like you said, if you're typing in coffee mug for golf dads, you know, or like you
Right.
said, or moms who love golf, or dog lovers, then all of a sudden you have niched yourself down into a different niche. And then if you're appearing on that, you say you have a golf lover's mug inside of your gift bundle that comes up with that, then all of a sudden all of your golf related, you know, gifts that are in that bundle, now you've just increased your profit margin and made someone else really happy, because they thought they were looking for a coffee mug for golf lovers as a gift, and then they found your $50 box, and they're like, oh, that's way better, and look at all the stuff it comes in, and it's packaged very nice. They realize they're going to have a really good customer experience. And I don't know about you, but when you give a gift, you don't want the expectation or the response to be,
Right,
it was
exactly. You
okay.
want something that's going to be impactful. And so you also are creating, and I've found anything that's giftable that targets a specific customer, you're also you're saving people time, because if you have those type of products, I'll just throw this out there for folks. Some people's products, it seems like at the holiday season after Cyber Monday, they're done.
Mhm.
If you have things that solve people not having to figure it out, you're making sales all the way up to the 22nd of December, because people are like, oh my gosh, I got to get something for my mom who loves cats. I need to
Yes.
find something. And so if you have something, going back to the iPhone case, you know, a bundle of products that serve cat loving moms, for example, and, you know, maybe has got something with like a cat on the iPhone case, but then you have something else that's like targeted for someone else, and it could be the
I'll give
same
you. I'm
iPhone
full of bundle
case.
ideas. We can actually just pretend we're making this up right now. So you've got the
Sure.
iPhone case that's got the cat, and then you've got a travel mug or a travel water bottle or something. And not everybody
Hmm.
drinks coffee, but everybody drinks something. So
Sure.
some sort of tumbler that you can put your favorite beverage of choice in that has like a "I'm only talking to the cat today," and then some cat socks. There you go. You have a $50 bundle or a $40 bundle. And honestly, I've done the research on this. So that's what we're talking about with the secret sauce, right? This is my jam because this is my niche.
Sure.
Is really the $50 is a very healthy, very reasonable, normal gift giving set for pretty much anyone, a boss, a
Hmm.
aunt, an uncle, an aunt, like anybody that you're going to gift something to. Between $30 and $50 is mostly what people are going to spend on your average. Of course, the more you know someone, the more you want to impress them, I guess, the more you're going to spend. But on
Hmm.
average, people don't balk at a $50 gift. They want someone to receive something nice, and they want to gift that to someone. And of course, if it has a specific theme, that's it. The key component here is, like you said, not focusing on product. This is what I call, and this is like the secret sauce of part of my wholesale bundle system, right? So y'all are winning today. Is that you opened the Pandora's box, so I wasn't going to close it. But really, one of the tracks in there is naming your bundle, and I spend an entire like video talking about why we name our bundles and why we don't just say this is a coffee mug for cat lovers. It is a gift set for cat lovers, for
Hmm.
moms, aunts, uncles. There's so many more phrases that can be involved in bringing those people specifically to that niche, to
Hmm.
where you're more likely to land on page one for gifts for cat lovers than you are cat coffee mug, because you have to
Mm.
sort, the Amazon algorithm has to sort through all of those things and decide if your coffee mug is relevant and what page that's going to land on. So when it comes to those longer, more niche phrases, is a lot easier to land your product on the product page you want to be on, towards page one without even PPC, to get you there when you're aiming at the niche keywords, which is really focusing on what is your customer, your end user buying, and what are they looking
Hmm.
for. And like you said, they're looking for, oh, I got to get something for mom loves cats, gifts for cat loving moms or gifts for cat lovers. And you'll be surprised what comes up on that page when you actually get that specific.
Okay. So for people that are like, okay, I kind of like this idea, they either maybe want to test something out. Because the nice thing is, there are, believe it or not, there are suppliers you could order from today and have product in a couple days. So I know for a lot of people listening to this, the mindset is, yeah, but the ramp up to order a new product, I get samples from China, go back and forth. It takes like a month or two, and then I order. So I could be looking at May by the time, and we're recording this in October. It
No
could take
way.
months before I have this up and running. You could theoretically do something like this and have it up by the holidays, and this will be coming out in October.
Literally, depending on your suppliers. First of all,
Mm-hmm.
I will just say this. All I would say 90% of what I sell are from United States suppliers. Well, all the stuff's, made in China most of the time.
Sure.
But like the suppliers are here. Like I can have a wholesale, if I created a wholesale bundle today, and I was like, okay, I want to sell this for Christmas time. I want to sell it for, I mean, dare I say Halloween. Halloween's a little too close for us right now at this
Yeah.
point. But say I was like, okay, I want to sell something for Christmas time, and I have all my suppliers at the ready, and I look at through their stuff and say, oh, I want to do like a Christmas gift for, senior citizens. And so I'm just going to put some stuff together in a basket. I think they would really like that box, a nice box, and then, send it off for the holidays. I could have that done by the end of today, and I could have the products within, a week or so, because most of the suppliers I have, there's supply chain issues right now everywhere.
Sure.
But for the most part, I do know what's in stock. So this is not stuff that I'm like inventing or ordering 10,000 units from China at all. As a matter of fact, I'm just going to regular United States wholesale suppliers and saying, oh, I'd like to order a case of this, a case of this, a case of this, and have it shipped to me. Actually, I don't do the bundling. I ship it all to a prep center, and they do
Oh.
it all there for me in my custom packaging, and they send it off to Amazon as well. So it's very low risk when it comes to that. If you have an idea for a bundle, you don't need to go overseas and get samples and do all these things. You can order a lot of stuff stateside and order small and say, okay, I'm going to send 20 test bundles in. And at the end of this 20 test bundles, I'll see, oh, has it gone well? Do I need to reorder? Do I need to tweak some things? Or it could be like, oh, it was a total dud. What did I do wrong? So there's a lot of different ways, but it doesn't have to be very lengthy and time consuming. Literally, I could have a bundle from concept to actual production and be for sale within a couple weeks.
Now, one question people are going to have is like, okay, but where do I go to find the suppliers?
Well, in my wholesale bundle system, I show you exactly how to do that.
Yeah.
But also, if you go to mommyincome.com/100, that's the number 100, there is a free video on how you find United States legitimate wholesale suppliers by the thousands, and you can do it in several minutes. You register for a trade show, and then you can look at all of their exhibitors, and all of their exhibitors are all the people that show their goods and sell their goods to people like you all day long and twice on Sunday. So the video shows you exactly how to walk through that process. It's absolutely free. It costs nothing to find legitimate wholesale suppliers. That should never be
I've been in this business for years and I never thought of that. You literally look up, and having been in the world of conferences and trade shows in my life, I never would have even thought to connect the two. So basically, you look up cat lover trade shows. Maybe you have to
No. Actually, I mean, I can simply walk you through the process here. But again, mommyincome.com/100.
Sure.
Maybe you can link it to this video. But
we'll have a link. We'll have a link in the description.
The video really will walk you through that. But essentially, yes, you go to a Dallas Marketplace, or you go to Atlanta America's Mart website, and you sign up, register for the show, whatever show is coming up. They have so many shows, and they have permanent showrooms there as well. It's not just a temporary in and out show. You register for that, and then once you're registered, you can see all of the people that are coming to sell their products there, and then sort them by product, by category. If you're looking for, gifts for cat lovers, you can put pet products, cat specific products, and then it will give you an entire list of suppliers that are going to be at that show peddling their wares. And guess what? You can reach out to them on their website. You don't even have to go to the show. Just contact them on their website, open up a seller account, like an account with them as a distributor, and you're in the door. So really, when people come to me and say, I can't find products to sell, I can't find suppliers, I send them to that video and I say, after this, if you can't find suppliers, we need to talk, because there are hundreds and hundreds. I think, really, to be honest, I'm a tough love person, and sometimes, to be honest, people like excuses more than they like action. And I've given the action and say, oh, I can't find a supplier for that. I say, well, if I can find a supplier in 5 minutes using the same method, then so can you. So it's not really about finding the suppliers. That's the easy problem to solve. The biggest challenge when it comes to wholesale bundling that I've seen with my students is the analysis paralysis. What happens if it doesn't sell? What happens if it doesn't sell? I'm like, you change some keywords and you try again. Or you solve the right problem for the right customer, and you don't have to answer that. It will sell because you've done all the homework ahead of time. We don't guess. We don't put products together in bundles that we think are cute and fun. We put products together that solve problems and meet needs based on data-driven research and a process by which we research. As much as you think something's cute or fun or nice, I don't care about that. I'm like, is this product going to solve a problem for a customer? And a customer is going to say, yes, take my money. I want that. That's the kind of reaction that you're trying to produce within your customers. They see your thing and they say, oh, that's the one I wanted. That's what I was looking for. And they thank you with their dollars, and you're happy with your margins. And that's how I've been able to increase my margins, is being like, well, I found the right products for the right people, but I wasn't making a good money doing it. So I'm like, well, how do I do this better? And I start curating products that are better for customers, what they want and need, what they're looking for. And if you really understand the Amazon customer, speed, convenience, and variety is exactly what they want. They expect to find what they're looking for on Amazon, especially if they're standing in Target, realizing that Target doesn't have what they want. Like, okay, I really need to look for this on Amazon. And then all of a sudden you find it, and they're very happy about that. And 2 days free shipping at your door. That's what your customers want too. And so that's really, if you cater to that, there's really no way to lose.
Awesome. So if people wanted to learn more about how to do wholesale bundles or learn from you, where would they go?
Well, they could listen to the Amazon Files podcast. I put out shows every single week. And then they can go to mommyincome.com. And, if you're interested in, there's a roadmap there to your first bundle. And so you can check that out there and see if bundling is right for you. Kind of see how the process works, see how, if it's something that would help enhance. I think it helps enhance anybody's product or store. There's always a way to bundle a product with something else.
Awesome. Well, we will also have a link as well to that, which will be in the description below if you're watching on YouTube, or if you're listening to the audio version of the podcast, it'll be in the show notes to this episode as well, where you can check out a training. So This was a lot of fun. You have my mind thinking about things I really need to get on the ball for this holiday season. Because the thing about the holidays is it comes and goes, and once it's gone for at least another year. And so, giftable items are hot, but then again, people are buying gifts throughout the year.
18 million birthdays a day.
That, oh wow, I never thought about that.
Just a fun fact for you.
Yes.
So when people talk about giftables and gift items being seasonal, I always say that. I always say 18 million birthdays every single day. There's gifts are evergreen and for all kinds of people and reasons. So it's a great niche to get into for sure. And I appreciate you having me on here, being able to talk about bundling. It's my jam and my favorite thing. So I appreciate the conversation.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.